When Meghan Markle entered Prince Harry's life, the palace presented it as a new chapter, modern, progressive, and full of promise. But for royal watchers, what followed wasn't renewal. It was disruption. Before Meghan, Harry was seen as a troubled but protected royal. He struggled with duty, yet remained firmly anchored by family, by military service, and by an institution that gave his life structure and meaning. After Meghan, that structure began to collapse. Within a short period, Harry's relationships inside the royal family deteriorated. Long-standing tensions with Prince William intensified. Trust with King Charles weakened. Private disagreements spilled into public view. The decision to step back from royal duties marked a turning point, not just institutionally, but personally. Harry lost official protection, royal responsibilities, and the stabilizing framework he had known since birth. What followed was not quiet independence, but continued conflict. High-profile interviews, a Netflix documentary, a memoir that exposed deeply personal family matters. To supporters, this was Harry reclaiming his voice. To critics, it appeared as a man unable to disengage from the very institution he claimed to escape. Observers also noted growing isolation. Friends from earlier chapters of his life faded away, military affiliations ended, royal patronages were replaced by lawsuits and media appearances. Then came the controversy surrounding Harry's children, a subject that continues to fuel debate. On one hand, Harry and Meghan insist on privacy for their children, citing safety and media intrusion. On the other, they pursued royal titles for them, placing Archie and Lilibet firmly within the royal framework they publicly distanced themselves from. This contradiction did not go unnoticed. Royal commentators questioned why children raised outside the monarchy in another country with no working royal role should still carry titles tied to an institution their parents regularly criticize. There were also questions about visibility and transparency, rare appearances, tightly controlled images, and conflicting messages about protection, status, and identity. While none of this is unprecedented, the lack of clarity only intensified public speculation. For many observers, the children became symbolic of a larger issue, wanting the benefits of royalty without the responsibilities that traditionally accompany it. Most striking was the shift in public perception. Once the most popular royal, Harry became one of the most polarizing, viewed by many as resentful, defensive, and increasingly detached from the reality of how monarchy functions. Royal analysts consistently returned to one central point. Meghan did not make these decisions for Harry. He made them himself. He chose departure over reform, public airing over private resolution, selective privacy over consistency, permanent rupture over reconciliation. And every major loss that followed, family trust, institutional role, public goodwill, trace back to those choices. This is not a story about villains or victims. It is a story about consequence. Love did not destroy Prince Harry, but the life he chose in its name reshaped him, and not necessarily for the better. Today, Harry remains outside the world that once defined him, still engaged in disputes many believe could have been resolved differently. And for those watching closely, the question remains, was this liberation, or a series of decisions he will spend a lifetime justifying?